It is Thursday. It is April 24th. We need to have a legit serious conversation about what I just came across. I hope you can hear me. Please let me know that we are good to go before we jump into this, because I need to give you a warning. Like, this video, this live stream should really come with a warning. And the warning is that this is going to piss you off. Just please be aware. It is going to make your stomach turn. Also, you should be aware of that. And it is going to make you question every single thing. So I hope y'all are ready for this. This isn't a conversation I want to have, but it is a conversation I think is important because the things that are happening in our country, not just our world, but specifically in our country, because this is where we live, the United States of America. We need to know what's going on within our borders, correct? There are some things that I cannot wrap my mind around. Are you ready for this? You know, if you've been here before on SquirrelTribe, you know that I was, I guess, what most people would consider a Democrat or a liberal or whatever word you want to throw at it about 4.5, 5 years ago. When President Trump, during his first term, I would consider myself as having been more liberal and more Democrat in my way of thinking, right? Because I believed mainstream media. I listened to mainstream media and I thought to myself, the media would never lie to me and the government would never lie to me and whatever else. I believed all of that bullshit, right? And I never really looked at the things that were happening within our country, the things that were happening to our children in this country. And over the last 4 years under President Joe Biden, I really understood that we were all getting played for fools, all right? Oh, this is going to piss y'all off. I really want you to understand it is not intended to, but I'm not going to kiss anybody's ass on this, and I'm not going to pretend like this is okay. And if this is something that's happening under President Donald Trump, I need to know what the fuck. And I need y'all to understand this. This is not me going against President Trump. Maybe this is something he does not realize is happening, but what I'm about to share with you, especially if you have children or in any kind of way deal with children in your life, this should piss you off and make you beyond disturbed and disgusted. So there's this thing that came out that Colorado, I need to just tell you, Colorado, I wanted to see Colorado more than anything over the last couple of years. So like 2 or 3 years ago, my husband, our daughter, and I, we went to Colorado. We had a Class B van. We traveled the country because during COVID, when everything was shut down, we decided, well, if you can't go here, at least you can travel around the country and see it from like the outside looking in kind of thing, right? And I told my husband, I said, I want our daughter to see this country before she is 18 and is out on her own and decides where she wants to be in this country, or maybe in this world, but hopefully in this country. I don't want her leaving this country, right? Because so much shit happens in all these other countries. It's not safe. I don't want her going anywhere. But I wanted her to see what the United States of America really had to offer in terms of different states, different cities, how people were visually, what was what, right? So we went to Colorado. We went to Denver, Colorado, to be specific. And we went during, which we were not aware of, but we went during Comic-Con, where people dress up like comic book characters, which in your mind you're going, aren't you a little old for that? But also you're kind of like, well, I understand that you kind of want to be able to live vicariously through others, whatever, right? So we got to the Comic-Con thing and we realized that the location in and of itself was not some place we wanted to be. Denver, Colorado was probably the most woke, liberal, democratic place we've ever been to in our lives. I was not expecting it, number one. The amount of weed everywhere, my daughter was not a fan of. She's like, listen, I don't like the way it smells, whatever. The people walking around in the costumes, she didn't love. And in general, the location should have been nice, but we didn't really love it, right? And we're driving around Colorado and I'm like, okay, well, maybe this isn't your cup of tea. And she's like, no, I mean, it could be fine, maybe different places, right? And the information that has come out today about Colorado, I sent it to my daughter, who is, again, 15 and a half, because I want her to know what is going on in this country. I don't want it to be something that she's blindsided with and doesn't understand what's going on or is confused or shocked by, right? So I sent her this thing and I said, I need you to understand that not everybody in this country is sane. Not everybody in this country is for the betterment of this country. And not everybody in this country has people's best interests at heart, especially that of children. And there's this video that came out. Please hold. I can hear my family trying to come in the door right now, even though I am doing a live stream. Maybe they're not going to come in. I don't know. Either way, I heard them do the little alarm there. So give it a second. But I came across this thing from Boulder Valley Health Center. Okay. It's an abortion clinic in Colorado. They are hosting, if you have not seen this before, please just go ahead and hold your knickers because it's going to like really piss you off. They are hosting a free sex ed summer camp for children, which will teach them about gender ideology and everything related to sex, bodies, sexuality, sexy feelings, and justice. Number one, how in the HE double hockey sticks do those things go together? Number two, they say they also want to teach children about consenting to sex and pleasure in all sorts of ways. And the clinic receives federal funding. Now, this is where my issue came in. Federal funding means that it is something that President Donald Trump, maybe unbeknownst to him, is funding in Colorado. This is where it gets disgusting. This is for grades 5 through 8. 5 through 8. All right. Now, I have a 9th grader. I have a 15-and-a-half-year-old. I know a lot of people when I was in high school at 16, 17, 18 were having sex and things like that. Maybe they didn't have parents who had the talk with them, who told them about how things really worked and whatever else. But this class is a free sex ed summer camp that is federally funded for 5th to 8th graders that will teach them how to masturbate. I'm sorry, what the fuck? I mean that as nicely as humanly possible, but what the fuck? All right. So it says here, Boulder, and I've made sure this is real before I brought this to you. This is not some hoax that's running around social media. This is a legit thing that is occurring. And it says here, Boulder Valley Health Center and Renee Crown Wellness Institute are partnering up to offer an engaging, relevant, and expansive sexual health education summer series. We can't wait to learn together with all the amazing young humans in Boulder County. And then it gives you an email address and whatever. It's free to join. It's free to go to this sex ed summer camp. And the sex ed summer camp is for all incoming 5th to 8th graders. And it says here, the what? Sex ed summer camp is full of all sorts of information regarding sexual health that most students don't get to learn in schools. You know why? Because these are conversations you should have with your parents, not with a teacher, number one, okay? We will talk about everything related to sex, bodies, sexuality, sexy feelings, media, power, and justice. Now, 5th grade to 8th grade, if my daughter is 15 and 9th grade, these are for 14, 9 to 14-year-olds? Okay. Some topics might include bodies beyond the binary, feelings and how to navigate them, gender and sexuality, consent and communication, relationships, pleasure in all sorts of ways, self-love, and so much more. The so was capitalized, just so we're all fully aware. The only part of this entire thing that I think is okay and makes sense is the consent and communication. That is the only thing you should be talking about with 5th to 8th graders when it comes to sex, is consent and communication. At no point in time does a 5th grader need to know how to use sex toys, how to pleasure themselves, any of these things. This is not something that needs to happen. And if it does need to happen, these conversations need to occur. It needs to be amongst parents and children, not some random camp counselor, right? In the middle of the summer. This is in, again, Boulder, Colorado. And it's going this year, just so we're all fully aware, July 7th through the 18th, if you happen to be 5th and 6th graders. And if you're 7th and 8th graders, you're going July 21st through August 1st. And this is an all day thing. This is an 8:30 to 3:30 p.m. This is an entire day for, 2 weeks straight of talking about sex with 5th to 8th graders. What the fuck? Okay. If you want to have a summer camp to teach 5th to 8th graders something important, teach them to garden, teach them to do their taxes, teach them to clean their rooms, teach them to cook, teach them to, I don't know, take care of their bodies at some point. Teach the girls what a difference is between a pad and a tampon. Teach the boys what it means to when your body is doing all these crazy things and you're unfortunately having these like erections in the middle of class, because you know what happens to boys' bodies. Teach them how to cover it or deal with it or understand it emotionally, whatever. But teaching them how to masturbate in 5th grade? Are you fucking kidding me? Y'all. I can't even. Listen, I'm going to be 100% upfront with you. I might have had a margarita or two before we had this conversation, so I'm a little extra pissed off at it because tequila. But at the same time, it does not occur to me that, no, wait, hold on. I don't understand why these are things that would happen. It would not have occurred to me in 5th to 8th grade to question how to masturbate or do any of these different things. Like, I understand that your body goes through changes in certain time periods, especially now with all the hormones and bullshit that's put into our food supply system, whatever, that some people are starting their period sooner. Girls, boys are getting, the movement a lot sooner. And so they need to understand it. But this is not something that belongs in a summer camp. Can you imagine sitting around a circle with your peers in 5th grade, having some random adult in the middle showing you a banana and a condom and explaining to you how to pleasure yourself? What the I don't understand. And I have to look at the fact, and I don't want to look at it this way, but you have to at this point, you have to look at the fact that the left and the right look at things completely different. The left looks at things as, I don't even understand. And the right looks at things as there is a right and wrong way to do things, to learn things, to understand things, to, y'all, I don't even know where to go with that, because can you imagine that you have your child in a regular ass daycare? Let's think, or summer camp. Let's think it's a regular summer camp where they're supposed to go swim or go roller skate or ice skate or whatever it is and play video games and basketball and whatever it is. Like when I was little, I would go to summer camp. My Nana would take me. She would fix my lunch, which was generally speaking a turkey sandwich with some nacho cheese Doritos on the side and an Ecto Cooler High C, whatever, and a Little Debbie Nutter Butter or the oatmeal cream pie on the side, right? And I would go to camp. She would take me to camp and I would play video games or I'd go swimming or I'd skate or I would do whatever was going on. And then she would pick me up. At no point in time were we put in this room to talk about our genitals and what was going on with our bodies. Because what the fuck? And that's still, I don't know what else to say about that. How have we gotten, I'm only 43. It was from the 80s, 90s. I was born in 82. So 90s to now, how in the last 30 years have we gone so off kilter that it makes no sense that now instead of a regular summer camp where kids get to go and be children and enjoy being children, now they go to summer camp to learn how to masturbate. What the hell? There's something horribly wrong there. I have got to assume that President Trump has no idea this is happening because I cannot see him sitting by and going, oh yes, this makes perfect sense. But then again, Boulder, Colorado in general is blue as all get out. So maybe it makes sense there. Where I live, oh, this shit would never. The immediate outrage would be absolutely ridiculous. And what's crazy is you have the people who are willingly putting this camp together and willingly sending their children to this, looking at people like you and I, like there's something wrong with us because we don't want our children going to a camp where they learn about masturbation from some dude dressed as a woman who wants to be non-binary and called Comet because they don't believe they're male or female. Look, just so you know, I am not making stuff up. This is legit. This is the flyer for this sex ed summer camp. Any parent that sends their child to this should immediately be arrested. That is my personal opinion. I don't give half a fuck if you think I'm a Karen because of it. I don't care if you think that I am a caveman because of it. If you think that I am whatever you think, don't give a shit. This is wrong. This is something that is beyond disgusting in my personal opinion. If you want to teach children how to do anything, like I said, it needs to be teaching them how to be adults in the future, or you teach them how to crochet, teach them how to draw, teach them how to ride a bike, teach them how to ride a horse, teach them how to swim, teach them how to play golf, teach them how to play tennis. You don't teach them how to fucking masturbate. It is not okay. Oh, woosah. I can guarantee you my 15-year-old daughter and my husband are standing out there listening to me going, mom's on a kick, wife's on a kick, leave her alone, let her do her thing, because there are certain things that I will every single time, without fail, lose my entire shit over. And this is one of those things. And parents that stand by and think that this is okay, those parents are trash. Those parents do not deserve to have children. And I will just put it out there like that, because there is something horribly wrong with this. If you go back to the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, yes, there was the summer of love. Yes, there was this. Yes, there was it takes a village. Everybody's kids were everywhere. But I can guarantee you at that point in time, you didn't have men dressed as women parading around in front of your kids, trying to convince them that they needed to be an opposite sex, or that boys were okay in girl sports, or that everybody using the same bathroom was perfectly fine, or that whatever else. Things are completely different these days. And this to me is not okay. It is not okay. I do not care at all if you agree with me or not. I do not give half a shit if people leave this channel because of this. Goodbye, deuces, see yourself out. This is not okay. At the end of the day, there should be parents and people in general, whether you have kids or not, should be protesting the shit out of that camp. There should be letters written. There should be protests made. There should be things sent to President Trump. Trust me, I'm on it. There should be news networks that are covering this, all of this, because this is not okay. This is how you end up with the 12-year-old who's pregnant because somebody convinced her that, sex is okay at 12 because of whatever the hell kind of camp this is, right? This is why you end up with parents who think that their kids at 9 and 10 should be able to dress like little baby hoes because they've seen it all over the place and, they're just growing up and this is how kids are these days. No, this is how media and groomers and pedophiles have made kids these days. This is not normal. This is not right. This is not okay. Please understand. Certain lines should never be crossed. This is crossing a line and this needs to be stopped. That is all I have for you. That is all. I love you. I have worked myself up into all kinds of a tizzy right now. So in order to calm myself down, I'm going to tell you all I love you immensely. And I'm going to let you go about your Thursday. And then I'm going to go hug my daughter and be thankful that she knows better and that she is not in the mind frame of these sick, perverted fucks who are doing stuff like this. So that's all. I love you. Thank you for being here. Goodbye. Have a great night. Adios.